Tabke. We're back here with, joining us today now is David Roth of Yahoo, Director of Search Marketing at Yahoo. Quite the title to be at, at a major search engine. What are all your duties and responsibilities at Yahoo?
Well, for the most part, I'm one of the few people who's responsible for looking at search marketing across all the properties at Yahoo. If you think about Yahoo not necessarily as a search engine, but as a big company with lots of web properties, it's important to have somebody, or some people rather, responsible for making sure we're doing what's best for Yahoo, both in terms of paid search and organic search, in terms of best practices and ROI and keyword overlap and all those things that big companies kind of have to worry about. And
let's make sure there's no confusion. You're talking about being able to optimize Yahoo's properties, pages, to rank well in search engines and well, or to position yourself well.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic, but search engines have to worry about SEO too. In addition, there are of course many properties at Yahoo that don't necessarily have a lot to do with being a search engine. So if you look at, the 150 some odd properties we have around Yahoo, there's news and music and video and finance and a lot of very popular properties that have to worry about search engine optimization just like everybody else. And the real challenge is trying to do some relatively simple things across a large scope of sites and do them well.
You did a panel at PubCon last year with AOL, Google, on what it's like to do search engine marketing from inside of a search engine. One of the things that we keep coming back to is just the scope and scale of some of these large sites. How many pages are we talking are involved in Yahoo?
Well, page counts are really tough to get at because, in fact, because of the dynamic nature of the site, I don't think anyone could really tell you how many pages there are at Yahoo. And what complicates that even more is the fact that Yahoo is comprised of a series of properties, each of which are very large. But I think that there are numbers out there like 3 billion page views a day worldwide. So there are certainly, I think, hundreds of millions of registered Yahoo users. I don't think I could really estimate how many pages there are exactly, but there are certainly millions of them. And when we do search engine, when we do paid search, when you look at Yahoo as a whole, I mean, you're talking about millions of keywords as well. So it gets very complex, and I think that the key is really trying to prioritize what you're doing and to not try and get overly sophisticated about what you're doing, but make sure that your efforts are prioritized and that the dollars you're spending and the effort you're spending gets a lot of results.
Now we've seen a lot of successful launches from Google in the last year. Probably the biggest would be the push on Panama. What are we going to see the next 6 months to a year, if there's anything we can talk about?
Well, with Panama, I think where we are with Panama is in the middle of a very carefully planned rollout. So you saw where Panama, the platform, was rolled out, and that's now complete globally. And now what you're seeing is the rollout of the bidding model, which is what we call marketplace design, and that's really in the process of being rolled out globally. So I think that that's really the biggest push right now with the Panama product, is to complete that rollout on schedule. And so everything, as far as I understand it, is going according to plan on that.
We've heard a lot of changes in management lately at Yahoo, internally. What's your feel? How's Yahoo doing?
I think Yahoo's doing very well. I'm in a very fortunate position where, my job remains the same, even if there are changes around me. So my charter hasn't really wavered since I've come to Yahoo at all. My job is pretty clear cut. My job is to make a lot of money for Yahoo through search. And so I'm very fortunate in that regardless of whatever changes may happen around me, that I can maintain kind of a laser focus. So I still think that Yahoo does some pretty important things better than anybody else, and I think I'm optimistic about our future.
What are some of the bigger trends you've seen in search in the last year and a half across the industry as a whole?
Well, I think that there's certainly a continuation of rapid growth in the industry. So even though you see in dollar terms and proportionally smaller increases year over year. I think that the absolute numbers are really starting to kind of get people's attention. So you do see a lot of mainstream advertisers and websites out there that, you know, this 40% number has been out there for a while, but I think that there's a lot more credibility to it. And I mean by that, you know, 40% of the online budget is going to paid search. And that's a big number. It's a big number for search. It's not necessarily a big number for advertising. But that's really continuing to grow, and I don't sense that there's really going to be too many things that are going to get in the way of that. I think you'll continue to see smaller incremental percentage gains naturally, but the nominal gains don't seem to be slowing down. I think that the trend that I see is that we're getting, you know, the levers that you pull with paid search, for example, you know, you can't just bid your way into profit. So what I would expect to see is sort of a migration of optimization down from the impression to the click and now through the conversion process. So I would expect companies that are currently focusing on conversion rate, multivariate testing, landing page optimization, I think these companies are going to become a lot more important to people very soon.
Well, we are about out of time. Appreciate you taking time to be with us, Dave. Thank you.
All right.